Whose birthday is today? Tiago, July 19, and I already picked up the gift. This is not an app, it's a folder of text files. And this is the same folder 10 seconds later. Fable 5 is back, and the first thing I did was end it my entire life. Money, health, tasks, people, it all lives in one folder, and the AI never forgets any of it. In this video, I'll show you what the second brain actually is, a full demo of one with 8 weeks of life inside, and then I'll teach you how to build yours in just a few minutes. And at the very end, one prompt will turn that into the Jarvis Dashboard you just saw. Here's the problem. Your whole life is scattered across 5 different apps. Notes in one, tasks in another, money somewhere else. Stuff goes in all day and nothing useful ever comes back out. And the AI you talk to every day? Goldfish memory. Every new chat starts from zero. It forgets you the second you close the tab. So here's the whole idea. A second brain is just one folder, plain text files. One file for each part of your life. Your money, your health, the people you know, your plans. And the whole system is one simple habit. Before the AI answers you, it reads your files. When it's done, it writes back whatever changed. Read, then write. That's the entire thing. No app, no database, no subscription to cancel later, just text files on your computer. If you can read a text file, you own your data, and nobody can take it from you. It's not a smarter AI. It's the same AI, finally allowed to remember. I know it sounds too simple to work, so let me just show you one. This is Alex, is a second brain I built for this video with 8 weeks of data inside of it. So the data you're gonna see here is not real data, it's a dummy data for the demo. So you're not reading my real bank statements. My actual life runs in a different one. If you see here on the right, you can see that there's different sections. We have the calendar, we have finance, habits, health, we have our people, our projects, our recipes. You can have different folders here depending on what you actually do with your day-to-day life, for your second brain. But the better way to actually visualize this is using Obsidian. And the way to link it with Obsidian, you just need to open the folder where you have your second brain in Obsidian. So you open Obsidian, you click Open, you select the folder where you have your second brain, and this will create the graph that you are so familiar with. And if we take a look into it, we can see that there's a lot of relationships between different points. So you can see here the budget. It's related to subscriptions, it's related to the emergency funds. If we go to the emergency fund, you can see it's related to the home office. It's also related here on the right to the chicken rice meal prep. As you start using your second brain, these connections are going to start to build up, and going to create more connections, more nodes, and so on. This is going to make so that in the future, when you ask him something, he has context of what you're asking. And it solves one of the biggest problems, the memory, so that he doesn't forget what you want. I'll show you the graph of my real Obsidian so you take a look how it actually will end up looking like when you start using it. Quick pause. I just opened the Build with AI Club. It's a club that will teach you AI from zero until your first paid client. There's no code, and you get your first live website by chapter 2 and your client by the end. And if you get stuck somewhere, I'll be there to help you. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, back to it. So here is the graph for my second brain. And as you can see, you have a lot more nodes and a lot more connections. So every time I open a session with Claude Code in this project, so the second brain project, all my responses will have a lot more context. Another thing that you can do is that you can create graphical interfaces to visualize this data. So I'm going to show you the demo one. You can see here, this is the demo dashboard for the data. So the data that you are seeing here is not the real data. You can create this kind of dashboards from your second brain. You can see in this case for Alex, there's the subscribers tracker for his YouTube partner program. He has the next up in terms of tasks that he needs to do. He has the passive income. Here on the left, he has his spending range, the business share, also has his own investments. He has the bike tracker. So Alex is looking to buy a bike and he's keeping track of this. And here he has a dashboard for it. So this is a real cool thing that you can create. You can create these dashboards that feed directly from the files that you have on your second brain. But how does this actually run, For example, in this case, how does it get this information? For this, on your second brain, you can create these automations running on the background. So I'm going to show you my automations that I have. And as you can see, I have a few automations. I have some bike tracker one, so the one that you just saw that builds this dashboard. We have another automations for content, another automation for hub. So this hub one is the one that updates this dashboard here. And this is how everything connects, You have the files, and then you can create these dashboards for it. best way for you to see is actually use it. So I'll show you some demos how it will actually look like. So in here you are inside the second brain of Alex and you're going to open Claude Code and you can start asking him questions. Where did my money go this month? We see it's looking to the finance logs. It's also looking into the emergency funds, and we have our response. We have that in June we spent 1,910 out of the 2,350. We have a breakdown table here. It also gave us a bottom line, and at the end we see that he's asking us if we want to rebuild the dashboard, this hub dashboard that we have, so that is updated. You can see already here that everything is linked in the second brain. We can ask now, how is my running going? And again, we have a response very well contextualized with the second brain, with everything that's linked. We have our headline, we have the distance that is climbing to, what's driving it, we have the current status of our 10K, and at the end is asking us if we want to sketch out a week-by-week long run. And here is already interacting with the calendar part. Let's also ask him a question about the calendars. What does my week look like? And again, you see a very well contextualized response. We have left on Sunday, so here we have a date for the calendar part. And we have different tasks that are related to the tasks part. So you can see here two different sections, the calendar and the tasks that are already being connected. Let's do a last test asking whose birthday is coming up. And we got a response that Tiago this Sunday. We also have that the gift is sorted. But the important part to notice here is that we also got context of other things. So we have context here of different dates. So this is already related to the calendar, but also other things that are related to it. We have Pedro 10K running. We have Isabel, flight already is on the backlog. We have Beatriz, is on trip friend. So we have a lot of context just in one question. So by using the second brain system, the responses you get are a lot more contextualized and better for what you want. But here's the best part. You don't actually want to copy Alex's setup. You want to build your own. So I'll teach you how to do this. So in order for you to create your second brain, I already prepared the skill. I'll leave the link in the description for us to do this. So let's create a folder where we're going to put this skill. So I'm going to call the folder My Brain. And I already have the folder to put the skills, and I'm going to move the skill there. In your case, you're going to have to download it and zip it and move it there. Or you can ask Claude to do it. I'll leave the setup also inside the skills so that it's easier for you to set it up. So I copied the skill inside. I'm going to go inside the folder, and I'm going to show you that there's nothing in this project. So you see here on the right, we only have the folder with the skill that we just copied inside. We have nothing else. So let's open Claude here. Since this is the first time, we have to put that yes, we trust this folder, because I never actually opened Claude on this folder. Before we start setting up the second brain, let's change the model to a more powerful one. Since now we have access to Fable 5, you can use a different one in the future, but to set it up, the second brain is advised that you use the best one that you have access to. So let's change by doing /model, and you can select Fable. And another tip on the effort point, make sure to put I or XI. If you put max or ultra code, it will most likely overthink everything that you want to set up. So just leave it at X high. And the name of the skill is called setup second brain. You just need to /setup second brain. You do enter, and this will interview to set up the structure of your second brain. As expected, the skill is telling us that the folder is empty, so it's good. It's fresh brains get built here. And we have 4 questions to answer. So we have your first name, and 1 line about yourself. We have top 3 goals right now. What do we want to track? And anything you're tired of forgetting. It gives us some examples. So let's answer to this. So we have John, that's a video editor. He wants to lose 10 pounds by eating less fast food and go to the gym 3 times a week. He wants to track money and weight. And one thing that he's always forgetting is birthdays and lost subscriptions. So let's send this to the skill. So the brain is built, and you can see here on the right, we have new folders and we have our Claude.md. So these folders will have different names depending on what you want. So in our case, the information that we gave were related to money, related to people, were related to the journal, to the health. So it created these folders for it. You also notice that you have the Claude.md file. And in this file, it's going to be context about yourself. So when you create your second brain, and the mapping of this project. So you see who I am. So the context about who you are. We have the areas, the different folders and what's inside. And we also have the session protocol, how it works here when you interact with it. So this is very important for you to keep an organized second brain. Let's now give him some context for him to save so that we can test on the next session. So I'm submitting the fact that Anne's birthday is on August 3rd. I pay Netflix, Spotify, and the gym I haven't been since March, and that I ran 5K in 31 minutes on Tuesday. So we submit this, and what it's going to do is that it's going to populate your second brain with this information so that in the future it doesn't forget this. So we see here is updating the markdown of the birthdays. We see here a new line for Anna. We see on the subscriptions the Netflix, Spotify, and the gym. We also have a note, that's not being used since March. Related to the running point, we have a running log in the health folder. So everything is saved. So let's close this session and let's test it in a different one. Open a different one. We can change the model. In this case, it's not so relevant using the Fable. The Fable is more important to set up the structure in the beginning. And let's ask, what do you know about me? And we have our contextualized response. So we have the name, that is John, a video editor. We have the goals, we have the health, the money, the people. In terms of backlog, we have nothing. So it remembers you. But one more thing that I promise you to show you the Jarvis dashboard. So in order for you to do this, just open a different session and you can just ask, build me a dashboard over my data, make it feel like Jarvis. And there we have it. We see this nice animation. We have the name on top, Jarvis. We also see that this is John's second brain, and we have some extra information. So we have the local time, we have the date, we have some information related to John. We have a message from Jarvis saying, good evening, John. Your second brain is online. I'm tracking 3 objectives, but I'm still missing your baseline weight, this week's gym visits, and every subscription price. So all the things that we asked and the context we gave him. We also have here a section for the vital signs. So we have the weekly visits related to the goal that we set, the 3 times a week. We have the weight goal. We also are tracking here the fast food, if there was any slips. We have the last run because we gave him some context that we did 5K in 31 minutes. If we scroll down, we have also other sections. So the mission objectives related to our objectives. We have the proximity radar, so what we have close to the calendar. Here we have the Hans birthday. We have a section for the recurring burn, related to the subscriptions, some attention required, things that are missing for us to work. And we also have the system log. But now you know that this is just a folder full of text files wearing Iron Man suit. So as you saw, there's no magic in any of this. It's just text files. The whole system is the AI reading your text folders and replying to you after with context about it, which means one thing: one rule rules everything. If it's not in the text files, it doesn't exist. And that's why this kind of system is not another system that you have to maintain. You probably heard that building a second brain is procrastination with extra steps. And in some cases, it is when you are doing the maintenance yourself. But in this case, the AI is maintaining it for you. You just need to open the folder. If you want the exact setup from this video, the skill, the template, the getting started guide, I'll leave the link on the description. Set it up today and tomorrow morning, ask him what he knows about you. Then come back and tell me in the comments what does it feel like. And if you want to build dashboards like this with me, step by step, join the Build with AI Club, link below. I read everything in there. Subscribe if you want more builds like this, and I'll see you on the next one.